Hey, this is Tyler with TJack Survival. I'm here with Matt Graham, and we're going to talk to you about a bunch of different shelters. We're basically going to show you some ancient traditional shelters, and then we're going to show you some modern day equivalents. So stay tuned.
Yeah, you gotta love a little heat in the wintertime, huh?
I love a lot of heat in the winter. All right, where's my fish?
You didn't tell me I was part of the deal.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, so I'm here with Matt Graham, and we're going to talk a little bit about the evolution of shelters. We figured we would start with Matt's pit house. So tell me a little bit about your pit house.
Yeah, so this pit house I built in my mid-30s, and I actually lived here for about...
You say that like it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm older than I look.
That's awesome.
But I lived here for about 5 years in total, and prior to that I actually lived in quite a few other bark shelters. This is actually the 5th pit house I built, and they take a couple weeks of pretty solid labor to build. I mean, this is not a quick just slap together shelter, survival shelter where you're just out for the night and you want to throw down something.
Just bust me up a pit house real quick, bro. Yeah.
But once you build one of these, it's amazing because you can see it's actually, this one's partially dug into the bank. Mm-hmm. So you get some heat from the earth, and when you put a blanket on the front door,
just toasty.
It's amazing. Like, the temperatures in this valley have actually dropped down to -20, but with a blanket on that door, it has never frozen here, got below freezing.
Oh, nice.
Even without a fire going.
Because it's insulating.
Because insulated layer from the earth, and then the construction of it. I mean, you can see you got 4 supporting poles. And this is basically patterned after what the Fremont early hunter-gatherer people built 2,000 years ago when they came to this region. So they use these 4 support poles, and then you've got all these other beams, poles, I guess you would call it, creating the basic framework, the structure.
Kind of reminds me of like a Sami people house.
Yeah, a little bit like a little a labu.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on the outside of that is packed with bark. And once upon a time, when I first built this, I actually had quite a bit of clay on top of the bark as well. So that added a...
The rain probably removed a lot of it.
It does, yeah. If you don't maintain that every year, and I've actually been gone from this location about 5 years now. So
this has been sitting for 5 years like this?
Just like this,
That's awesome.
So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
So why did indigenous people use this shape? Why this conical design?
Well, I think the round design is it is a little bit easier to heat because you don't have
move and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can move around it. I think for me there's actually a spiritual connection. You know, I look at the earth and it's round, and it just feels better. It feels like not only is the heat of the fire moving around it, but it just feels energetic.
It feels more natural.
Yeah, but that's a good point because
that was great.
It's
cold out
awesome,
there.
Huh?
So
they have built square ones. You know, archaeologists have found square pit house designs, so it's not uncommon. The advantage to a square design is that if you have to build it real small, it's a little bit more space efficient. Space efficient.
You can make up
Space
words. If Bush can
efficient.
make up words, you can make up words. Nice.
This is not politics.
Nice. Yeah, we're good.
So you got that advantage going for you. But when you make a larger one, the round just feels really good. Like, it's just nice.
There's something about a round structure on a fire. It just feels inclusive for some reason. I don't know. It's like a natural thing to me, so I understand that. So
That makes sense. Yeah.
So one thing that I like about any of these shelters is you can have the open fire, and it's almost like a giant Dakota pit.
Yeah,
kind of like vacuums from one way and then shoots it right up.
That's a good way to put it.
And then once it's going for a long time, you get that reflective heating, right? And that will kind of cover it in teepees in a little while. But once you've got the heat coming off of here, hitting the walls, radiating down on your back and all around you, it's just like comfort. It's like
It's
a warm
amazing.
blanket after you've been playing in the snow all day long. It just feels right.
Yeah, totally agreed. And when you can have an open fire in a structure, it's really nice because you get that heat right away. Like you instantly start the fire.
It feels great right here.
And then
I
you're
don't want
just-
to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just bam, you've got it. And this is actually a pretty small fire for a structure quite this
Yeah.
big. But
Well, you can cook on it. You can dry things. You get that. You got your food, your water, the heat, and from a survival perspective, there's so many things that you get from fire that it's like, in my opinion, one of the most important initial skill sets to gain is how to get your fire, because that's how you get your water and your food and your heat and your companionship,
Right.
drying yourself off. And there's just so many things that come from that one element.
Absolutely. And the other nice thing about like a design like this is in the winter time, it stays a lot warmer than outside. But you get the reverse effect in the summertime because you're buried in the ground. So when it gets hot out here, you come in here and it's
Nice
actually
and cool.
a bit cooler, and it's a good place to cook even in the summer.
Oh,
So
nice.
It
We'll have
works.
to come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Test out that theory. And
Nice.
and also just being in the ground when you dug in a little bit, naturally you get more humidity inside here. So we actually, I live in a somewhat arid desert environment, and it's dry, which is hard on hunting tools, bows, things like that. I used to have a nice rack here which had all my bows and hunting tools, and the humidity was really good on the wood.
Oh, nice. So it would sustain it longer. I know when I brought bows and stuff back from the jungle from Colombia.
To dry.
Oh man, it destroyed them.
Yeah.
Just coming from the high altitude, the low desert or the low jungle to the high altitude desert, stuff cracked and destroyed. I had to immediately dip things in linseed oil just to preserve it from being destroyed.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, should we go check out the teepees?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this is one that I've been using for about 2 or 3 years. I can't exactly remember. And I like it because the whole setup with the ultralight on it is lighter weight than my hammock setup, which just blew my mind.
That's nice.
So-
So what is that?
This is a Seek Outside, and I need to actually get the weight. I need to get the weight. That's my bad. I think the whole setup is under 3 or 4 pounds, if I remember
Okay.
correctly. So
I like the color. It looks more natural.
yeah, my daughter
like
calls it the
brown.
mountain tent. She goes,
Yeah.
"Dad, it looks like a mountain." So the thing about this one is it's dark, so the sun comes through. You get a lot of heat from that, which is good and bad. But if you pop it up real high and just give strings to the base of it, the wind comes through, and then it's a shade, which is really nice. I got a half floor for this one, and a little titanium stove. Now, this titanium stove, I don't know how many winter campouts I've done with it. It'll get 70, 80 degrees in there when it's just rip roaring. And then I have the half floor. The half floor is nice because when you got kids and stuff, you don't want to sleep right on the dirt, especially if you ever go to a public campground and you have to deal with just that flat dirt. It's a real pain. So
tell me about this material that it's made out of.
So it's a silicone coated nylon, basically. So that coating that it has enables it to be water resistant and really, really strong and really lightweight. So it feels just like a parachute.
Yeah.
I grabbed it, I was like, this feels familiar.
So it's a little bit lighter than my pit house.
Yeah, just only a little bit lighter than your pit house, just small
Cool.
amount. So yeah.
And this stove, tell me, like this pipe, what's going on with this? So with the stove here, it all packs up in this little flat bag.
That big pipe just rolls up. It's a big chunk of square titanium, and you just unroll it and then roll it up, and it's just as small as the actual stove itself.
Yeah.
And then that little stove will pull apart. So that little stove pulls apart, and you can just throw it in a backpack, which is awesome because it's so hard to get a stove you can actually go backpacking with.
Yeah.
So that makes me happy. Like, I was so stoked to be able to get a stove I could actually carry in a backpack.
Yeah, it's cool. That's pretty lightweight.
It's got its little vent, and then you just
Yeah.
get your fire going, and you're good to go.
So yeah, I like this. This is a cool setup. But I've got something that if you don't even want to carry a stove, you don't have to, but you could actually put a fire in it.
Oh, let's go check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, feel the heat. Nice.
So yeah, this is my tent teepee, and the nice thing about a shelter like this, it's similar to a conical shelter, but you can have a fire in it.
Right in the dead center.
Right in the center, and it doesn't. And you can set this up in about 15 minutes. It's not like a teepee. It's going to take you a few hours.
Oh yeah. So there's some things that I want to tell you that you just can't know without being here. But I walked in and I was like, like heat wall. It was awesome.
And the door's even open.
Yeah, the door's still open. The vent's open on the top, but that's the point I tried to kind of cover a little bit earlier with the pit house. You've got this radiant heat that comes up and it hits these walls and then it comes back down on you, and it just reflects all over the place. And that tight teepee shape kind of makes it a big Dakota pit, right? So it's sucking the oxygen in, and it will force bugs out of the teepee. Mm-hmm. It'll force smoke out of the teepee, all these great things, and reflect that heat back on you. So this is what I would call a semi-permanent shelter that you can live in permanently.
Yeah.
My only concern would be after seasons, you'd eventually have mold issues and stuff, but if you dry it out, it shouldn't be a problem at all.
Yeah, and the fire too is going to naturally dry out the inside. So the more you use it,
More it'll dry out and stuff.
And to me, this is a great option. I mean, I like stoves, and I think it's cool, and stoves well designed, you can put it together. But
it's nice to have a fire.
To be able to have the fire, like. I don't know, I'm kind of a romantic sap, I like I lay down at night and I see it licking on the ceiling, all the firelight, and I like to go to sleep that way, and it's just nice, and once again, it's like...
It feels more natural, it feels correct.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get the light and the heat at the same time. But the cool thing about this is you do have an option. There's actually a sleeve that you could put a stove in here if you wanted.
So you do both?
You could do both.
That's nice.
And
nice.
And it's got these little cords over there which adjust the top cap, and you can do it all from the inside.
Open it and close it, and that's good because you can handle the rain.
Yeah, and you can handle the wind situation. So if it's coming in winds from one direction, just like a teepee, you can open up the other side.
Nice. Yeah.
So that'll help draw the smoke out even that much better.
Very nice.
And
very cool. Yeah, another thing that's kind of interesting too is it has these little vents down here in the bottom. Mm-hmm. On a traditional teepee, you have the ghost liner or the internal liner, and that goes to the ground. The outer teepee is up off the ground a few inches, and what that does is it sucks air in that helps vent that smoke up. So that's these guys right here. I was checking on them, and that helps do that as well. So you got a little bit of the air that can come in, so you're not worried about monoxide or any type of poisons at night, and you can have that fire, roaring it, and just the heat is just incredible.
Absolutely, and I love teepees. Actually, I lived in one for about 3 years, And I have to say, I liked it better the first year because about the second, third year, mice just love to run on the liner.
Oh, man.
That liner you're talking about, they do laps on it. I was like,
You need to hang out with Larry Roberts. He likes to eat mice.
I like to eat mice too, but you know, it's hard to keep up sometimes.
That's funny.
And so this is a cool option for, I think, for people that want something that's much lighter than a teepee, much more packable. I mean, this is actually a cotton poly mix, so it breathes a lot better than most of the nylons. But this company actually does make them where it's more of an ultralight nylon.
Yeah, I was looking at his site. That's something that I thought was really interesting. I see a lot of companies that just ultralight or it's just super heavy, but this company, I thought it was really cool that they have everything from a super ultralight layer or a super ultralight teepee to medium to heavy to super heavy, like industrial strength 100-pound giant teepees, all the way down to a couple pound ultralight teepees. So you get a lot of options.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
Yeah, really well thought out.
All right, guys. Hopefully this has been valuable to you. If it has, leave any questions you have down in the comment section of the video. If you're interested in anything that you've seen today, I'll leave a link down in the discussion box. If there's something that I don't leave a link for, just ask me and I'll drop a link down there. If it's been valuable, hit the subscribe button. Go over to Matt's channel. It's Matt Graham, because he's not very artistic in coming up with names for channels. So
That was a long time ago.
no, that's cool. I don't judge. My name was horrible. I had to change my YouTube name. So go over, subscribe to his channel. He's got more content coming that's just going to be obviously outstanding. For those of you who don't know who he is, go check him out on Dude You're Screwed, Dual Survival. Anything else I can think of?
I was just on Live Free or Die. with
Live Free or Die,
Matt
that's
Geo.
true. Very cool little house that he had on that one. So check those out. Go over to his channel, Matt Graham, hit the subscribe button. Come back, watch my video another 2 or 3 times, hit the subscribe button, hit the likes, and thank you for watching TJack Survival.